the iconography that's in my head all the time. I am Sicilian and Irish Catholic, and I've just walked through this fake little Italy here. Still fun, kind of fake, but I grew up surrounded by Sicilian dialect. I never ever heard anyone say "Mamma mia." What they said was "Bedu matre mia," and you're used to what you hear when you're a kid. And I can't even write down in spelling, even though I'm a writer, most of the things that I heard them saying because I don't know how to write the dialect. But a couple of years ago, I got to thinking, why did they say "Bedu matre mia"? And I looked it up, and it's an Arabic approach, and Bedu means sacred. Better than Bella, more important than Bella. So this show to me is very Bedu matre mia. And I didn't write anything new in response to the paintings, but what I did do is I went back to an earlier version of Whiteout, and I had taken something out of it, and I totally forgot about it. But today, looking at the website paintings, this phrase came into my head, "Where her blood fell, nothing grew." So I thought, oh yeah, I wrote a poem about this exhibit, 6 years ago. And I spent all day today preparing to teach a class at State, but also calling General Dynamics Ethics Hotline, which I suggest you do too, because they are one of the corporations profiting from this incarceration center for children in El Paso, children torn from their mothers. And, I think this is a good thing for us to be looking at and thinking about as we do something other than like each other's tweets. All the information I just said and much more is easily available on my Facebook page, on my Twitter page, and all over Twitter. So I'm not going to read much because there are a bunch of us, and I'm really looking forward to the music too. I'll read this poem, which was inspired by Alice Childress. She's a black playwright. I think she may have been the first to have a black female playwright to have a show produced on Broadway, I forget. Fantastic writer, novelist. And she wrote a play called Trouble in Mind about a black cast giving a white director some actual information about lynching. The quote is from Eileen Miles. "What would be the point in seeing a girl nude and nailed up? What's the contradiction? Could that drive a culture for over 2,000 years? No way. Female suffering must be hidden or nothing can work. And it's a man's world, and a girl on a cross would be like seeing an animal in a trap." Actually, he did not want to sacrifice himself. An hour before he died, he tried to get off the cross, but was caught on a nail no one remembers. And his mother, I saw her slap a centurion so hard he fell on his back. She clawed his neck, drawing blood. They grabbed her and pulled her robe up and back and shoved her in the dirt. She got up spitting and tore the cloth across her chest, exposing her breasts. They laughed. She was bleeding, between her legs too. Where her blood fell, nothing grew. When her son died, she screamed so hard, one of her eyes popped out of its socket. You never hear about this part. You always see her dressed in blue. That's also not true. And a poem that I made by erasing some pages of the Bible that I found in the lower Ninth Ward 2 years after Katrina. My mother's name is Mary. My grandmother's name is Maria. My other grandmother's name is Mary. Her mother's name was Mary. And I'm very happy to be part of this event. My Mary, does the rain have a mother? Who made the drops of dew? Out of whose womb came the ice? She is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. The face of the deep is frozen. And then the last thing I'll read is from a manuscript called, thank you, Dark White. And it's about, my father was taken away from his mother. He was illegitimate. And I have the social worker's reports about her case in 1932. And when I started working on this project, I thought, well, no one will care about this because all this stuff doesn't exist anymore in America. People can't relate. Well, I think we can relate because this culture wants women to be in the same situation that my father's mother was in. Black Irish. She was born in County Kerry. Black Irish. On Gorta Moor, Black 47 in the crash of 1929. That Black Friday in Boston. This is in her voice. I saw a rich man jump from a window near the docks. And God help me, but my first thought was, what a waste of a beautiful suit. For I knew the price of everything nice from the advertisements in the papers. And that cold Sunday in February 1932, when I held the bye child, your father, in my arms. Nowhere to go, no manger, no Joseph. I was frightened by the creature's screams. Shame, 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 it sounded like. And I was nearly blinded by the white. We were never not starving, you know. There were famines between the famines. You've read the books, listened to the airs and the people. You've been to my grave, and my poor mother's too, that pit behind the lunatic asylum. You know. We were hungry unless we left home or stole or took the soup or gave up altogether, leaping into the lounge where everybody slept, while everybody slept. Suicide, a mortal sin, theft, a venal one, vanity and lust, immortal, dust. I didn't leap, and I didn't steal much. I had the cross in my pocket to protect me from temptation, and I had my beads, but in your dream, I'm still hungry, still falling. Thank you. Thank you very much.